Okay, it is 9:32. I'd like a motion to have the meeting reconvened. Do I have a second?
Mr. Graham, second.
Okay. Roger and John. So the committee just took a tour of the break room facility. What we noticed that there, last time I had been there, that there was a lot less furniture and things. It looks like the room has been pretty much filled up with furniture, and we couldn't really figure out what belonged to who, so, and we need that room emptied. So I will be sending out an email to all of the staff in the building to have everything that anybody has put in there removed by July 31st, because on August 1st, we will be emptying and junking everything that is in that room, because there's nothing in there that seemed of value. Does anybody have any else to add to that? Yes, Roger?
Yes, you say junking and getting rid of. How do you propose to do that? Say,
So we've had some volunteers from the committee will be here on Friday to just move everything out of the building, and then between now and then, we'll figure out how we're gonna get rid of it.
Paul and I and Chris and whoever else wants to help, we're just gonna get it out of there.
on the list,
I mean, does it have to be on that date? I mean, you're saying by August 1st, you said it's not gonna be here, we can do it. Or something finished.
Out by the 31st, and then, which is Thursday, and then on Friday,
Okay.
we'll move everything out.
okay. Yeah,
Chris, if you're not gonna be here that day, if you can leave us any dollies, anything that we might need, we'll take care of it.
Would it be easier just to get someone, one of the local junkers? I mean, we'd be.
We will figure out what we need to do on the end of getting rid of it, between now and then. I can't tell you.
I don't know if that's politically correct term, but
Like a local
people
junker person, you can come have this stuff.
recycle.
Okay.
In the garage, so everything for $1, but you have to take everything.
And I apologize, that was July 31st, correct?
Yes,
At
I thought
what,
I heard July 4th, that's what
July 31st,
Thank you.
to remove anything that anyone wants from that room. Otherwise, on August 1st, it's gonna be taken out.
I did appreciate it.
Okay. Is there anything else, Chris?
For me, no.
That you have, okay.
No, man.
Okay. So could we get an update on the county farm, Scott?
Yeah, just a very brief report. The lease says that the lessee will pay 100% of the fertilizer bills upon receipt of invoices, and he's been invoiced like May 15th or 16th, and we haven't been paid yet. And I talked to Amanda about this, and because of the vagaries of the mail, and like she told me, sometimes there's been like a 3 to 4 week delay with the mail. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And if we don't get the payment by next week, I'll just give him a call, because I have to talk to him about the fertilizer for next year for what he plans on, or plans on planting. And so, yeah, that's it.
So you'll check, make sure he got the invoice.
And, right.
Right.
So, yeah, that's all I have on the farm.
And then, do you plan to do that this week?
I'm gonna wait till after the board meeting,
After
the full board
Okay.
meeting, and then call him.
Okay,
And we'll send him a letter if we need to, if he doesn't answer the phone. But you know, he's a very agreeable person, but like, the track record's not good so far.
Right.
So,
And it might be, let's hope we're just dealing with somebody that's slow to respond.
well, and that could be,
It's coming,
but
but,
still, like,
yeah,
you know.
I know.
sign
The lease
between the-
is set up.
So, and I think we're being really patient with the guy, so.
Yes,
But, and like I said, he's very agreeable to talk to in person, but at the same time, bills have to be paid, so.
What is the reason that the county pays for the fertilizer and then reimburses? I mean, he pays for it himself on all his other ground. Is there a reason why they have to do it that way and have bids put out instead of letting him do it, or do you guys know?
because previous boards have wanted to control the farm like this.
I should make you a copy of this.
You haven't seen the farm ones? You wanna see it. It's,
Yeah, previous, well, I don't know if that's the word, but previous boards have felt the need to control really heavily what goes on that ground, so I'm not of that opinion, but this is what we have now for 2 more years.
This is our lease currently. That's
No, I
something
understand.
that
I
could
was
be
just-
changed in the future.
Yeah.
We may want to change that in the future, but for now, that is what our lease dictates.
I suppose he could, well, I don't know if we could amend it mid.
The only problem with that is if you have, give a guy a 3-year lease, for instance, he gets to that 3rd year, he goes cheap on the fertilizer, and then the next guy has to overdo it, you know? I mean, it'd be something you definitely want to keep an eye on. I just don't know why we have to pay for it and then have him reimburse it, you know, it seems like, or maybe you could do it where he just has to pay them, you know what I mean? So you don't have to run into this
But-
problem.
but we put the bid out for the we do the soil tests, I can't remember
Well, the
how
problem with that is
often.
too, the guy,
And then we apply at that rate, so he pays that, so we also control the rate the fertilizer's applied at.
John?
Yeah.
Also, I was talking to Joe, there's stipulations in the contract that we have to follow how the trust was set up. And that might be something that was probably part of it. Plus, we've probably had, in the past, maybe someone not exactly following. It was kind of, the wording might not have been there. And that's why they had to be so stern on the property, just to make sure that it's followed to the T. And then we know that we know the farm's taken care of it, we pay for it. And then they pay us back. And if they don't pay us back, then that breaks the binding contract, and then we move on to somebody else. It's almost like you have to keep a thumb on them, just like it's a business, to make sure that they're not taking advantage of the county. Because like I said, it's not just like us sitting here, we're representing the people, and we're gonna keep it as tight as we can to make sure that the money we're getting from that can come back and help out the county. But yeah, I'm part of that trust, I was just talking to Joe. No?
I don't know, like, I don't know what was in.
It doesn't, the trust doesn't say anything about fertilizer, it refers to, I think, the sale.
You know, somebody can't do
Can't
it either.
sell it.
It can't be anything else but farmland.
Right, and we can't put any bars up on it, or I think that's on there.
well, I mean, he pays for his own spraying and all that other stuff, so it's just, and he uses his own people, so it's just kind of strange that like, if he does business with this people, then he has to do somebody else because
Well,
the bid comes
The
out.
short story is we had a tenant who was buying a byproduct from ADM that had a minuscule amount of ammonia, it was, and putting it on, and we had several farmers on the board then that probably didn't like the tenant to begin with and took exception to that, and then thought this was bad for the ground. Whether it was or not, I don't know, but that's when the lease got jumped.
And at the same time, we get to keep a finger on it, to keep it local. You're not having somebody outside the county coming in.
Wasn't the guy living in Brook? the farmer?
He lives
I'm
in,
not talking about the farmer, I'm talking about
Oh,
the
fertilizer. Yeah,
oh,
yeah, okay, I was curious.
Your questions, good questions.
So make sure when I put my bid in 2 years.
Not for
Okay. Anything else on the farm, Scott? Okay, thank you.
That's enough.
Do we have anything on the administration on these leases?
Yes, I emailed the leases out.
Okay,
I have one copy of each year. That's all that I have.
When do they expire? What's the expiration date?
August 31st. We've done 3-year terms.
yeah, I didn't see this. Did everyone get a copy of the leases?
Yes.
For some reason, I did not see that.
I didn't either, but it's probably there. I'm sure she said she did.
So the terms are identical to what they were before. Does anyone have any questions about them? Not gonna get a motion.
Well,
Wait.
this is the current lease, so what we're doing
Oh,
is,
here it is.
right now, they're at $11 a square
Yes.
foot. So we're deciding what rate to charge them for the new lease term.
Okay,
And Jill, farm services is what, $17.55 a square foot?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Same for 911.
911 is, are you guys at 11 or are you at 15? Or am I making up numbers?
You might be making up numbers, I only know off the top of my head the end result that we pay monthly.
Okay. Okay.
So we would propose, no doubt, an increase.
And I think it should be uniform
For
across the
everybody
building.
except for
Except for farm services.
911 and farm services. And I think Jill's looking, are you looking up 911, Jill? We get those, what report does it come out on? Shows all the. Yeah, it's just got a little box down here. I don't know, we see it from time to time.
I haven't seen that before, but so I guess it would have all your utilities and such on it.
Probably.
so
11. So Jill, from time to time, I've seen a report where you've got all the square feet, and what everybody's paying, and it's got utilities and so we should probably look at something like that, wouldn't you say? To look at a reasonable increase.
is that something that's available, Jill, or would,
Or do you have
Just
to,
have to update. I can do it, yeah, usually I do it if they request it, so I can just update it and
okay,
email it out to you.
okay.
Yeah, the 911 volunteer services and workforce development are $11 currently. USDA is at $17.55, and the AIOC pretrial office over at the courthouse, they're renting that for $15.17.
These expire when?
These expire at the end of August.
911 does not.
No, the two that we're talking about right now, 911 has another year, is my understanding.
Roughly.
And it's good to the end of May of 2026.
Yeah. So these expire at the end of August.
These are 3 years.
Yes, they're 3.
So we should look at those numbers.
We should look at those and then we can do it next, yeah, do it in August.
I mean, you want to wait, I mean, I'll make a motion right now. I mean, 1755. For both of them. I mean, I'll wait.
But then we're gonna jump everybody to 1755. That's a, don't you think? I feel like that's a real jump. Raise it, jump it that much. I was thinking about comparing, like, you told us last week the cost of living increases, well, we probably can't go by that. 4%, well, maybe we should go by an inflationary number. I don't remember how we did it in the past, but I've been through it several times. But we'd have to compare that to the actual cost, you know, utilities and everything. I don't know if everybody else wants to go to 17.
No, if we can wait a month, that's fine.
Okay.
So you'll email us, you have a little box in there with all the renters and when they expire. Can you'll.
Yeah, if you can email that to us, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll review all of the rates and then establish those. Next one. The next one, August. Yeah.
So we'll be getting information on
Yes.
who all is
Yes,
renting in here.
all the
and
leases
how
and
much
the
space they have, and what they're paying.
yes.
Is that-
I think that'll be very helpful in us.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then I think we look back at the, CPI or some index,
Yeah,
over the last 3 years and.
This is not that much money. I'm just saying, they should all pay the same,
Right.
that's all. It's not a lot of money they can pay.
I just Google. AI is telling me in 2025 median rent is expected to increase by 4.8. It's not uniform with smaller units experiencing slightly higher growth.
Are you,
Studio apartments are going to 5.9%, so that
and that
doesn't
can be a
exactly-
national average, and I think we need to be
Right.
more local, so.
Well, we need to look at commercial then.
Yes, yes. I spoke with Jill this morning, moving on to room configuration and sound system. So we have not received a proposal from Area Wide yet on redoing the sound system, but hopefully they'll be here for next meeting, so hopefully.
Someone told me, you know, Watsika's is exemplary. It just is excellent. Does anybody know the name of the guy? I can't remember. They told me my mind's gone. Have we talked to that person or do we just
I don't know who
deal with?
that would be.
Does anybody know who does the sound system for Watsika? Is there a Gerard or something like that?
What's equal what?
City of Watsika, when they have their meetings,
Oh.
if you've ever listened to any of their meetings, it's just excellent. Oh, yeah, maybe that's someone in addition, I don't know.
Well, Area Wide does do
Sound.
other sound systems in Champaign County and other locations, so I feel like they know what they're doing, but if you're saying we want to get competitive bids on it.
Well, I only said that if they're having, it's taking a while, it seems to get a proposal.
Yeah, okay. I'll look into it and see who that is. Okay, next item is looking at our meetings for September. Our regular meeting is scheduled on September 1st, which is Labor Day. We have two options. We could move it back a week to Monday, August 25th. And we can move it to Wednesday, September 3rd. And recognizing that that there are folks on this committee that are also on Finance IT, which meets right after. We don't necessarily have to do it on the same day that committee decides to do, but does anybody have a preference one way or the other to move it to just the Wednesday of regular meeting week or moving it back a week?
September 3rd to my room.
Anyone else have an opinion on that? Donna, would you like to make a motion?
I move that we meet on September 3rd, in connection with the Labor Day holiday, and have our meeting
At 9 o'clock on
9 a.m.
September 3rd. That does not interfere with any other meetings that we're aware of.
Isn't there normally meetings on Wednesday?
In the afternoon.
Oh, later on.
Okay, can I get a second?
Wait a second.
Seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Okay, so we will meet on September 3rd at 9 a.m. Has everyone had a chance to review the claims? Can I get a motion to approve the claims?
So made.
By Scott, seconded by John. All in favor, signify by, oh, I'm sorry. Roll call, Carly?
Yes.
Bard?
Yes.
Watts?
Yes.
Grant?
Yes.
Perkinson? Yes. Is there any old business? Yes, Roger.
Yes. What is the situation of the standby generator for the morgue? Is anything being done, or is that
There's
just?
never been anything else mentioned or pursued of that since we last discussed it.
So we're just gonna hope that nothing happens?
Is that, quite honestly, it's not really my decision, is it? That would be the coroner's thing, that's, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. He has not brought that
So,
up as a concern.
been, what, a couple months, I think, since we last discussed it, and then just nothing's.
Scott was involved in that discussion with the sheriff. Remind us where we left that.
Well, the thinking is, we don't need it. And if the power does go out, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Anyway,
It's already dead.
right.
You got some snips in there by my little thinking.
Well,
And you know, we might have to, in that case, well, number one, that's
Yeah,
another thing, will there
alternatives.
be anybody in there? We might have to go to our friend the Naps and say, can we just short term, if they have electricity? Or we might have
And the
to,
hospital also has facility.
I know, but we have to go up and down the
Right, understood.
patient.
In worst
it's
case,
just money we don't have to spend.
I've only lost power for 4 hours in the last 10 years in my house. I mean, it's just, things
There-
are different now than it used to be.
Twice in 35 years, I wished I had a generator.
Right, me too. 1991.
any other old business? Any new business? Motion to adjourn, please.
I'll make a motion.
And Scott. All in favor, aye.
Bye.